All right, hey everybody, here we are back with Sigil. Oh, hello, spider. Standing outside the entrance to the Runnyeye Citadel with apparently a spider and a bat friend. The guards outside are gray, so they're too low level for us, and probably a lot of the stuff we run into at the very beginning inside of here is going to be too low level for us because we're coming here a little bit late. But hey, we spent that extra time in Befallen, and it was well worth it. So what we're going to do is head in there today. We're going to fight ourselves some goblins, and back in Befallen, we have slain a baron. And then here in Runnyeye, we're going to be looking for a king. Somewhere in there, there's a goblin king. We aim to slay that guy and take his loot. So getting started, I need to buff up again. So while I'm talking, I'm going to work on setting up buffs. I've should have my latest spells here for fighting that I want to use. But we've got a couple things to talk about. So there's been some patches. There's been some cool stuff looked at and added. I'm not one to sit here and read all the patch notes, so we're just going to talk about a couple of things that I think will matter to the Doomreaver here, and just that are kind of cool in general. And I'll keep looking at the notes and see if there's more to bring to the table. But for now, so first thing, probably directly one of the coolest things for us. I think at the end of last episode, we had the invocations. So we're still using Spellblade, and it's still going to proc our first slot here. And then we got something else new for Shadow Knights, which I'll show in a moment after I'm done memorizing my spells. Actually, I can pull it up. So we got something else new here for Shadow Knights, which is the Reave ability. So Shadow Knights got an ability called Reave. Paladins got an ability called Smite, not to be confused with their lower level spell that's called Smite. It is a Shadow Knight, so Reave is a Shadow Knight specific ability that can be auto-fired. I did switch around. I've been playing other builds, so I just need to make sure everything's checked here that I want to have checked. Kick and then Reave. So Reave's our new thing. So for Shadow Knights, it Reaves your current target, dealing physical damage as well as converting 3% of your maximum hit points into amplified magic damage. Reave will also reduce the reuse cooldown of Harm Touch by 60 seconds every time it lands. Super cool. It's very thematic for a Shadow Knight because it's kind of eating our health to do extra damage. In addition, we're going to be running Berserker stance, so we're going to be using a little bit of health to do some extra damage. So we'll have to offset those things with our Shaman healing, with our life taps and stuff like that. So I do have Reave on auto fire. Now the nice thing is the ability, the cooldown for Reave, right, has a 15-second reuse, but that is actually sped up by Berserker stance as well. So it's super cool. So this, like SK Berserker, Shadow Knight Berserker, is a really cool combo for getting more Reave procs to go off. It's also good for getting more Spellblade procs to go off. So we should be seeing a pretty good damage increase here from it. I've also played around with the Paladin ability Smite. Very similar idea. Reduces the cooldown on Lay on Hands. It feels like Lay on Hands is up all the time on my Paladin build. So really cool thing they added for the Knights. That's really going to make a difference for us. So looking at other stuff, I don't think there's any gear changes from last time. I did get some other gear, some higher end gear. I was able to get one of my builds up high enough to kill Vox a few times and got some things. So you can see here I've got these Cavral's Mystical Pouch. So I do have some 100% weight reduction dragon bags. And then if you go look in my storage, or I'm sorry, not in storage, in my key rings, I've been sticking all my extra stuff in here, but it's not real fair to run some of those items like a blade stopper or some of these other higher end things that I got while I was messing around on my other builds, to run those here yet. Now, once we're at a level where we can earn them and we accomplish some of these things as the Doomreaver, then I don't mind throwing those things in here. Like the Rune Bolster Belt would be pretty nice to have on right now. And I think I also have a flowing black silk sash somewhere on me that I also picked up. So having that haste would be nice, but we can't quite earn that yet. And I don't want to, I want to kind of give a more realistic picture of what it's like at this level. Now, of course, the one exception is no matter what I'm playing, I'm always earning alternate advancement points. I tried to limit my alternate advancement selections that I made to things that don't directly affect this build. So I picked a lot of paladin stuff from my other build or monk stuff, for example. So the only thing I think I picked up from last time that's any different. So I haven't even finished out Steadfast Will yet. I spent a couple on fear resistance. So I have a 2 out of 4 fear resistance. So I do have 50% chance to resist fear spells. And that might actually be the only thing that crosses over that I bought. I'm just double checking here. I'm pretty sure in the last video I already had Minam. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure in the last video I already had mnemonic retention, which gives 6 out of 6, which gives me the more spell slots. If I did not, well, I do. So I have 14 spell slots total, the 8 original plus those 6. And what I'm going to do now is I do have 16 unallocated alternate advancement points, and I do want to finish out the Steadfast Will that we were talking about before. So I'm going to go ahead and train 6. It's 6 for this tier. And then, okay, it's actually 12 for the last tier. So I need to earn 2 more to get the last one. It's costly, but it puts me at that 100% chance to endure what would otherwise be a stunning melee attack from any angle without being stunned. So it just removes the chance for us getting stunned from outside, like a spell attack. Stun locking is pretty rough in here, and I think to really tank well, getting that last one's going to matter. Once we have that going, I think we'll start looking at something like maybe double riposte or improved bash. You know, using the bash skill while wielding a 2-mana weapon. Although I do have slam as a barbarian, so we'll have to think about that one. But there's some options here. There's some opportunities to get a few things. Maybe blood rune. You know, critical hit. 5% of critical hits give you absorption shield. That's pretty cool. Soul abrasion. Base damage of life taps is increased by 50%. That could be cool. And Vampiric Embrace is just a permanent buff now once you have it on, so it's just always stealing life. That's awesome. So those are kind of the things that are going on that have changed since last episode. Not too much. I try to keep it as steady as possible. Just some other things that were in the patches. So they added rituals. So if I go look at my skills now, I have rituals tab here, and certain things that you unlock by having a caster class. Example would be teleportation. So if you had a druid or a wizard, your teleportation spells would be here, and they'd be able to be casted as a ritual from any of your builds. So no matter what, even if I don't have a caster class right now, I could ritual cast Bind Affinity, Gate, or Shrink, which is a cool one to have on. If I didn't have Shaman anymore, I could still cast Shrink on myself. And the way rituals work is they fully drain your mana. So they take your entire mana bar. They take a long time to cast. They have to be out of combat. They fully drain your mana bar. But you can cast them without even being the class that can cast them, which is a huge, huge benefit. So, you know, if you think about it like an initial build, you might want to have in your initial build, Druid or Wizard, to unlock yourself a bunch of ports. Then you can swap that out as your second or third class to something that, if you don't want to play that class as your second or third, at least have it so that you get the ritual ports and some of the skill abilities here. And that way you still have that opportunity, that option available to you. So that was a super cool addition. We got some rebalancing inside of the picks. So the various levels, they reduce some aggro radius and some of the health scaling on double tank mobs, stuff like that. So just kind of a pass on balancing. I don't I haven't noticed that much of a difference. So I was camping some stuff on another build in higher difficulties, and I can't say one way or the other. I'm not so sensitive to that stuff that I can immediately tell that there's a difference, but the numbers seem like they made sense. The aggro radius seemed better on D4, especially D4 aggro radius was incredibly huge. And they continue to extend out the ability to create raid instances and personal instances in various zones that don't already have them. So they're working on it. They're working on it. Couple of cool things. There was a patch today. I think it was today, taking a pass at some pets, some work on the pets, and I haven't really dug into those patch notes yet. But I'm interested to find out how it affects pets. One of the things that I had seen is that pets can be dual class or are dual class now, which is super cool. So we might summon out our little buddy here and see what's going on with him, and maybe try to get him to help us kill some goblins. They also added monk and bard animations for races that didn't have them. So, you know, you want to spin kick as an ogre, you can now spin kick as an ogre. I unfortunately don't have an ogre to demonstrate this for you, but I have to imagine it's amazing. I'll be looking for that in the wild out here. Maybe we can run into classic Everquest. He's an ogre. He's playing an ogre, and we can get him to sing us some bard songs. I don't think he has monk in his current build, but he definitely has bard. That's some of the highlights. As we run across more things, I'll check them out. I'll look at the latest, try to look at the latest patch notes that are out there and see how they apply to us in here. But for now, we're going to run in and get started. We're going to head right in. Like I said, these guys are low level, so I'm going to imagine, just making sure I am in. Yeah, I think I've got everything I want there. So these guys are low level outside. I imagine the first goblins we run into here will be a little bit low level, but there are several floors, as I understand it, to Runnyeye. Although, again, I don't know. I don't remember this place at all. So I imagine we'll eventually get to... Ooh, I am tall in here. Okay, let's hit up shrink. All right, we're going to shrink. Get down to the size of these goblins. We'll fight them face to face. We'll double shrink. There we go. Now I fit in these hallways a little bit better. So I came in and it said, perhaps bards and storytellers will sing a song of your death here one day. Ooh. All right, actually, let's go ahead and pull out our pet. Let's check him out. Let's see what's going on. I don't know if the pet changes apply to Shadow Knight pets, so we'll find out. Oh, he's huge. Okay. So he's carrying the gear that I gave him. If I remember, he's got the enchanted fine steel longsword and the rapier and a couple pieces of armor. I mean, I don't really have another weapon to give him. This is 1030. Yeah, I think those weapons are fine. We can shrink our pet as well. Oh, it's kind of hilarious to run around with a giant skeleton. Does he shrink twice or just once? Let's find out. There you go. Does he shrink 3 times? No, just twice. Okay. Now the goblins are actually taller than me. I can't just stare down at them. Alright, well this is our foe. This is our foe right here. These goblins. The new enemy. The Doomreaver is here to make war, boys. Alright, let's explore. I'm not going to even use the map. I'm just going to explore a little bit. These things are all gray. Oh. Any secret passages in the water? It's like some straight up dungeon delving stuff like you do in D&D. Check the water. Search the corners. Ah. No idea. Very cryptic. So I know that Runnyeye also connects out to the Gorge of King Zorb. And I think, if I remember someone telling me, the entrances are like close together. Like I think this is where we just came in. And someone said like just passing through here to go to the gorge is like super fast. But I don't know. Maybe it's down this way. Oh no, this goes... Let's go somewhere else. This is interesting. Green slimy walls. Oh, look at like the moving texture. That's some high-tech stuff for 1999. Right on, guys. 35% of the programming power of EverQuest is right here. In this hallway. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's wild. Oh. I guess I could like project movies up there or something. It's like green screened. I don't know if that's broken or if that's what that's supposed to look like, but are we just, is there just a giant dome of slime above us? It's kind of what that looks like. Okay, so we want to get down there and eventually figure out that, but I'm not going to jump. But this looks like it goes down. Let's run down here. An unbelievable stench fills the air. That must have been back there in that room. I didn't see it until just now. That's pretty funny. So our overall target in here is to kill some of the name spawns, which I don't even know where they are. I'm just kind of doing initial exploration. And eventually to kill the king. We are the king. We want to be the king slayer. We killed the baron. Oh. Oh, what is this? What is going on here? Is this like a mating ritual or something? We've got the evil eye prisoner. Okay, so 2 evil eye prisoners. Are they? Oh, they're trapped. Oh yeah, they're not happy I'm here. Interesting. So these guys, so there are evil eyes in the gorge of King Zorb, and these guys must be. They like captured him and brought him in here. That's pretty funky. I thought we were looking at some kind of weird hot tub thing going on. Mr. and Mrs. Evil Eye over here. Or Mr. and Mr. or Mrs. and Mrs. I'm not going to judge. Yeah, see, look, the pet's getting beat up. I think I'd left him kind of too close to this guy without... Yeah. You know, every time I bring him out, I get him killed. I think it might be... I would need to spend more time actually, like, taunting and being in my right positioning, and I just kind of run in and fight. And I feel real bad about letting him die over and over again. But I'll practice a little bit here. I'm just gonna leave him huge. Okay, so these guys are like sitting in this. Does that go somewhere? Oh, it goes somewhere. Oh. What's attacking me? A sludge guppy? Really? I guess that's what's attacking? Apparently we're in combat with the sludge guppies. Okay. I do have an air remaining bar. It's up here in the corner. Maybe I'll pull this down so I don't lose track of it. Let's grab some air. And let's go back in there. This is interesting. Where are we going? An ooze crawler? Oh. Oh, are we in the bottom of that? I think we're in the bottom of that pit that we were looking down on before. Yeah, there's the bridge. This is the bottom of that pit. Oh. Hello, big guy. We got a Spirali Defender here. So I know there are Spirali gloves, I think, in here, which is a early haste item. So that's where one of the things we're hoping to pick up from these Spirali is some gloves. I think it's the gloves. Someone mentioned it to me in chat or in my in the comment section of my last video. Someone said that the Spirali have gloves that have haste, so we're gonna look for those. I mean, there's not much we can do to look for them besides just kind of remove these Spirali from our path. These guys they have a faction, so they have a faction square up here, which means they are part of a faction, and I didn't even check before I started fighting them if they are any kind of friendly. And I'm already getting hit by -10s from them, so they probably aren't friendly anymore. So they're dropping bloodstone rings, which I have on auto sell. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of Spirali down here. Oh, who's this guy? He's like pathing in the wall. There we go. Got him. A pick claw foe chopper. Alright. He's a pick claw stuck in the wall. There we go. Blackened iron mail. Okay. So we'll see blackened iron drops down here and blackened alloy. And there's a couple things. The blackened alloy amulet and the blackened alloy bastard sword, which could be worth leveling up. And I'll do some research on who drops what. But for now, like I said, I'm just exploring. But for the blackened iron stuff, as cool as it looks, like black chainmail, I'm going to go ahead and auto sell those. I'm not going to actually wear them. So that leather from Befallen is going to take us a pretty long way. These guys would be a little low for experience, but again, we're just sorting out what's what in here. Just figuring out what's what. I should probably I don't have taunt on my bar. I took it off when I was just fighting solo because I didn't really need it, but I should probably pick it up if I want to keep my pet alive. So Reeve is working its way up. I hadn't used it yet, so we're up to a 9 skill with that, but I mean we're destroying these guys anyway. Looks like this whole section is probably the Spirali, so that's kind of cool. I jumped in that pool and swam down here, and it's this whole area. That's this guy, the scavenger. See if I don't know if I can pull these guys up. There we go. Where are they coming from? There they are. See, these pick claws are going to hit my pet, though. Unless I can maybe position myself correctly to save him. That's right, we'll just have to kill fast enough. Kill faster. Oh, some kind of like sawtooth looking blade. Spirali Defender's Blade. It's a one-hand slash. It's Paladin Shadow Knight only. Let's grab it. If we get it often, we can level it up and see what it looks like. I don't know how to tell what class my pet is. They said pets would be like multi-class. It just says level class. Maybe there's a command to tell. Oh, there we go. If I target him, duh. Okay. Very cool. He's a warrior shadow knight, so he's probably got his own harm touch and stuff. That's pretty awesome. I'm over here like trying to sort out how to tell what class my pet is, and everything you target tells you the class and the level. Okay, so this just kind of circles around through here, and you've got a lot of Spirali roaming, which would be really cool for camping, because you could set up a camp and then just pull back to wherever. That's a neat setup. Oh, we got some more graphics. All right, we're back in the big room with the waterfall. So we can swim back to where we were. I think this is just a big circle that goes around to that big room. I think if we follow this around, it's always going to come back to that big room and then back around. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out right now. I was wrong. It goes somewhere new. Okay, what is all this about? Oh, this is gross. It looked gross down here. I jumped in sewage. Is this going all the way back? Well, that'd be alright. If it goes all the way back, that's cool. Like, we know we can go down there and... Yeah, okay, it comes all the way back to here. Alright, let's try this again, and I won't jump in the swimming. But that also means we could jump down there and swim back. We have a Sporally Gatherer with Sporelings. Where does this go off to? Ooh. Someone had a hell of a paintball tournament in here. Some yellow and green. Okay, this goes back up. I'm so small that the stairs just look gigantic. This is going to be a confusing place to fight. That's all I'm saying. I like how this guy's so much taller than the other ones. Like, there's the really short ones, and there was that guy's like double their height. Alright, I got a blackened iron bastard sword. We're looking for the blackened alloy bastard sword. Alright. These guys... Well, this would be rough if you were low level. I'm gonna lose faster. I don't have much choice. I can't be on both sides of him at the same time. Alright, let's back everybody up so they're in front of me here. Alright, so black and iron bastard sword, we're gonna auto-sell that. The cat skull cap is a quest item. We'll loot it, and we'll look into it. What is the... There was an exaltation in that. Cat skull cap. Enhancement haste, okay. Yeah, these guys added like crazy. That was wild. I think we're going to be alright. Oh, I'm on recover instead of spellblade. I was like, my mana's full. Why is my mana full? So now I'm on spellblade. We'll start getting life drawn and berserker stance. I really wasn't expecting to fight very much, so I wasn't like completely setting myself up for the best success there, but that's alright. It seems like I want to get this bone mender down. I don't know. They're only level 14. I mean, I'm just going to murder these guys, but... Although I will throw myself some heals. So I think we'll be getting our new heal pretty soon, which will make a big difference in our survivability. Yeah, this is just insane. We're just like killing the whole dungeon here in one fight, or this level of the dungeon. And then we'll look at these. So blackened iron spalders. We're not going to need them. A mind ripper. This sounds fun. Alright, I think we're finally going to be out of combat. Okay, so cat skull cap. Sure, we'll auto-merge those. A fractured femur. Equip no trade quest. Why not? And black and iron boots, we're not going to need those. So we'll auto-sell those. Alright, I'm going to pull up the map. Oh, it is. That's a lot to unpack. Okay, there we go. Looks like it should be doing the auto Z thing, so... let me go to the compact. I'd actually prefer the dark dark background. If the okay, so the map does show up well in the dark background. Sometimes they don't show up well, and I prefer to see that. And what I want to be able to do is turn on. Oh, labels are on. Okay, this goes to level 2, level 1. So I think we want to go down to level 2. So let's just run over here and take this, whatever this is, to go down. Oh, is that up to level 2? Okay, we want to go down. Oh, this is into the Spirali area. Okay. Okay, it looks like we have a couple of Spirali things marked on the map, so we're gonna head towards those kind of like points of interest. We're gonna see what's there. We're gonna see what's there. Spirali Defender. This Mold Master. So I think that would be like a named guy that we're looking for. So it showed him here or up north further. So let's go up north and see what's up there. And again, we might spend some time hunting the Spirali, but I'd really like to see if there's like a named one we kill. Okay, so this is that room. And it looks like the named guy, the Mold Master, can spawn in here. And then further up, there's another room back here that I see some... Alright, that is this room. And there is some information there. Let me go to the light background, see if that shows up. It does not. Okay. Oh, it's probably different levels. That's just different levels showing through. So I do like that we have a lot of map options. It is very nice. I like to usually keep it on minimal map with a dark background. And then you can even shrink this down, you know, if you want more of like a mini map. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the mini map feel. Okay, we're going to look at trying to go down even further. I believe there are 4 floors in here, and we are on maybe on 3 right now, or this is 4, and we need to go up. Nope, this goes down. Perfect. All right, we got more of those, I guess, Clan Runnyeye barrels, or stolen from Rivervale. I'm not sure what's happening there. Stolen barrels. Well, see, now this is looking... This is like some worked stone over here. Okay, this is starting to look like a place. Like a real place. This must be the actual Citadel. Excellent. Ooh, it almost looks like I'm going to zone with the with the curving walls. Eat it. Crispy rat. Pickled gopher. Pickled. Like pickled. Gopher. Maggot pie. And shrunken head cheese. It sounds amazing. Yeah, we got like a town. Goblin merchants. Very nice. We got the destroyer just chilling out in the tavern or the bar, I guess. And we got a bartender. We got a soon-to-be-dead bartender. Oh. Well, now I feel almost bad. Sorry. Who kills the bartender? Was that from Dusk Till Dawn? You've seen that movie. The bartender always lives. Well, not today, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm guessing these merchants are also going to be like, you know, one-hit wonders. So, yeah, we'll just keep looking. We might... Everything's seeming pretty low, so this may not be a place for us to level. It might be a place where we just hunt some loot, and then we head out. But either way, we're going to find ourselves a Goblin King, and we are going to kill that guy. So, just looking around the map, I see bartender, merchant, a banker. Looks like that Spirali guy can be on this level too. And this is level 4. All right, so kind of looking at the map, just studying the map for a minute, I was kind of looking at what's roaming. So we have a lot of light blues and greens roaming around, and some equal level spawns. But what I don't see are any of the named ones we'd be after. So I'm going to head back through this way we came. I want to see where we kind of came in up here. I want to go the other way and see what's in these rooms, kind of get at least get my circle around those other rooms so I can kind of see what's going on in there. Is that a red spawn? The goblin. So like the goblin banker is like maybe super high level. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so let's head back up there. I don't know if the Pick Claw Destroyers drop anything. So what we're looking for is the Goblin King. Maybe the Goblin Warlord. There's a Lord Pickclaw in here somewhere. Oh, yeah, actually, Lord Pickclaw drops the blackened alloy medallion that we want. I'm kind of doing a little research off to the side over here to remember what drops what. But I think I'll do some exploring like this, and then I will come back once I've got a good handle on what's going on here, and we'll kind of maybe do a quick level-by-level walkthrough like what we did with Befallen. I may not hit on where all the spawns are, but at least we can, like, do it in a little more organized way than I've been. Like, I jumped down a hole and swam through a thing and went all over. I'm as confused as you are precisely where I am. But let's get... Okay, so there's Lord Pickclaw, or that's where he's marked on the map. And this is Battle Lord Paluk, or Paluk. I don't know what he drops, but we can go in there and check it out. And this goes upstairs. Okay. We'll stay down here. We'll go this way. And if we can get to, like, guys over here that are more white spawn, blue, even light blue and yellows, that, or probably won't find any yellows, but some equal levels at least. This could be a little bit of a place to camp out for both loot and kills. Now, I am in the public, I'm in public D0, so I'm not in a private instance, so all this stuff, there could be people in here. Well, Trixie at level 12 probably isn't killing everything. I'll say there could be people in here killing stuff, and I wouldn't even know. We'll bring our buddy up again. I've got a ton of bone chips, so if I keep getting him killed, I'll keep bringing him back. Oh, here we go. Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword. That's what I was talking about. And the Blackened Alloy Waistband. So the alloy stuff is better. The waistband I don't think we're going to need. I'll loot it and deal with it later. But the Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword, though it doesn't have a lot of stats, it's already at a level 0, sitting at 0.538 ratio. And if we look at our scythe, it's a 0.644 ratio at a +7. So we can get a much better damage ratio out of it, but the scythe also comes with some strength, intelligence, but we can always get those things by putting it in our any slot and absorbing the stats. So the Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword is something to really look at leveling up. Now, the really nice thing is, since all this is a little bit lower level than me, I can also put it on +4 if I want to camp the items and really pump up, pump up the item. Wait, hold on. We're gonna take a look here. What are these guys? They're only dubious with me right now. That's wild. Is that fish on the shelf? I can't. It's like it's 2D draw or flat drawing that's made to look 3D. And then there's musical instruments on the back of the shelves. Okay. Who am I to question the goblins? So, I mean, we could also just, I guess, since they like us, we could just wander for a while and not have to fight everybody if we want to really take a look around. What did killing that guy give me for... Yeah, see, killing him gave me a big hit to him. They were probably even happier with me before that. But I'm gaining gaining with the Rivervale guards and King Zorb himself. All right, so according to what I can find, the king should be in one of these rooms back here, or has a chance to be in one of these rooms back here. But of course, I'm not looking at EverQuest Legends info, right? I'm looking at like P99 or other places for information. And that doesn't always apply here on Legends, so you gotta make sure you're bearing that in mind when you're thinking about, you know, looking up information sources. There's people working on a wiki, but it's not complete at this point. So yeah, Battle Lord Paluk drops the Black and Alley Bastard Sword. Okay, so that where Battle Lord was, I think that is where. Oh, okay, I'm kind of understanding this a little better. Where the Battle Lord was, that is also where the king spawns. So I don't know the spawn time, but I guess that it would be in this room or this room, one of these through here. So gray these are gray spawns. I said they were white before, but they're actually gray. Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be a bust for us for experience, and I'm trying to decide now if I stick around and try to pump up that blackened alloy. Let's see what the blackened alloy bastard sword even looks like. If it's not even half as cool as Scythe, then maybe we kill ourselves a king, consider ourselves the conqueror of Runnyeye, and we head out. Oh, all right, it's not terrible. It's not terrible looking. And we look good swinging it. I like the idea of the scythe from the kind of Doomreaver standpoint, but I gotta tell you, I'm not disappointed in a big sword. Hell yeah. So I'll mess around here for a little bit. If we decide that if the decision is to head out, you know, and that this is a bust and we should try something different, at least we explored it. I haven't been here. I don't even think I've ever been here, to be honest. If I have, it's completely gone from my memory of days of old. Well, probably because I'm old and I don't remember, but I don't remember coming here. So either way, it's been cool to explore. And I do think it's probably still worth our time. Let me while I'm looking up stuff, let me look at the Spirali. What are they called? So there's Spirali gloves. Let me look at who drops those. So it drops from the Spirali Mold Master. So we would be hunting that guy down too. And they are haste, which would be super cool. We don't have a haste item yet. It's low level. It looks like it's 9%, but if it's a stat on the gloves themselves, then we can if it's a stat on the glove themselves, then we can pump it up by raising the level. So I think the play here, since everything is low level, who's that guy? Let's kick it over to +4. At least give it a little bit more fun challenge to it, and make our way down here, and let's camp out the king and Lord Paluk for a little while, and pump up the blackened alloy bastard sword, and then we'll also we'll chase some Spirali. And since it will take us back upstairs, we'll pull up the map, and maybe we'll spend a little bit more time methodically kind of going through the map. And I will look for on the map points of interest, so things that we can say, you know, this is how you go to like the Gorge of King Zorb, or this is how these things drop here, if I know. And when I say no, I mostly mean by if we run into a named mob, I'll look up what they drop and we can look at it. But we'll make our way down through, you know, level 1, 2, 3, and 4 a little more methodically and kind of check it out. Although I do like to just jump in slimy water and swim and see where we get to. That was fun too. All right, resetting to a number 4. I'm going to leave it on public. I don't want to spend my private instance yet if I don't have to. I also I'm thinking like after some camping here, then we definitely head to Khazak-Thul. I mean, that is the next stop on the list, right? Get into Khazak-Thul, start exploring, we can level up there. We can definitely get experience there, and we'll also be getting those. We'll also be getting the drops we need for the Temple of Seleucid Row armor for Shadow Knight, and we can pursue those quests because we want to look good. All right, it made me big again. Let me shrink down. Yeah, just shrink once. I felt a little bit too small on those steps last time. Oh, and I lose my buffs. Okay. Well, I probably didn't lose them from that. I just lost them from time exploring. All right, we are all buffed up. We've got our fight spell list back on. We're looking at the map here, so we're going to be a little more methodical. So we're back at the beginning, and we are in a level 4, just in the public level 4. We're not using a private instance yet, so we come to this first intersection, we can go right or left. We're coming in from Misty Thicket, like we did. And it looks like that Mold Master can actually spawn at a bunch of different places, at least according to this map. So it's showing that he could spawn here. Right, and we know we jumped into that one and you can't swim anywhere from there. If we go up here a little further, we get to the cool wall with most of the processing power of all of Everquest on it. And we get to the actual waterfall. So we looked down here before and saw all that with the green screen for displaying some movies up top there. If we go around the other way, there's some stairs going down here. So that's one of the ways to get down. And you'll see everything moving so much faster because it's a difficulty 4 setup. All right, so this is coming in from Misty Thicket, where we go right or left. We're going to go to the right. So these all look like they're running super fast, chasing something, but that's just how fast everything moves in difficulty 4. So we found another pool of water, slimy water. If we follow this around, this looks like this is where it goes to the Gorge of King Zorb. So it's really not too far from the other entrance. We don't have any reason to go in there, so we're not going to go that way. Although, I suppose we also need to someday slay that king as the King Slayer. And this looks like it's going to be another path downward. So we'll just take this one down to the next level. Yep, there it is. All right, so this level is the one outlined now in pink, which is a little harder to see. I'm going to see how it looks on the dark mode. Very nice on the dark mode. So this goes back up. We've got some friends here. Probably get half the dungeon here because they're all coming by real fast. All right, we're going to have to watch. Even though they're lower level, this is on difficulty 4, and you can see that like this guy's a war paladin. We got a war cleric. They're a lot harder to kill. They're going to be these dual class. Man, I can't tell what's actually in the fight and what's not. So we're going to have to be real careful in this one. Difficulty 4 is no joke. I hope I'm actually targeting one I can hit. That's the other problem. And all this and all the welding that's going on here, the glow. Someone said that yesterday. I don't know where they grabbed it from, but it's like you got to look away from the light. There's too much welding. And we learn a valuable lesson. Don't fight at the Goblin Crossroads on D4, even though they're green and gray. So next time I'll need to do, things like jump into defensive stance or, go about things a little bit differently. I knew the fight was going to be more difficult. I didn't expect that they would actually be able to just overwhelm me as greens and grays. Difficulty 4 is no joke. It's no joke. you've got, since they're all dual class at least, you've got a lot of skills going off, a lot of stuns, a lot of heals, a lot of buffs. So you have to be prepared. So I think what we might actually do is invis, just so we can explore a little bit easier without having to fight our way through all the greens and grays, because they're not even going to be worth good experience. If they were worth experience, I would just say, let's just clear everything down to them, but it's almost a waste of our time to fight everything to move forward. So I think so quick buff has 30 seconds left. So after quick buff is up, we'll buff up, we'll switch spell sets, I'll grab invis, and we'll try to use it to get around a little bit easier. Just so we can explore a little bit. And then once we get down by the King's area again, where we know we want to camp out and kill some stuff, then, you know, we don't need the invis anymore. We'll just keep everything cleared in that area. But we don't have any reason to fight at that crossroads and clear those guys out. Now, if invis is difficult to keep up and just a pain, and we need to, hey, we'll fight everything we need to all the way down. We don't have a scythe, or occasionally use the name Reaper for no reason. We're ready. Doomreaver. Also, I was just thinking about it, and if you, it is kind of awesome that the new Shadow Knight ability is called Reave, and we are the Doomreaver. It's freaking awesome. I should use Harm Touch a lot more, because actually using Reave is reducing the cooldown on Harm Touch. So I should be able to it'd probably be up way more often than I even think to use it. So I might give that a try. Just start popping them off here and there. I have it here on the bar, so I'll give it a go. Didn't quite get all my spells memmed. Alright, got all my spells. Hit myself with Shrink, and then I will swap that out for Invis. Pretty sure I have invisibility. Haven't really had to use it. 27. I sure do. I know we've used invisibility versus undead, but hadn't actually used invisibility. Oh, also, it's funny, I get invis from Shaman at 27, and I get Gather Shadows for Shadow Knight at 30. All right, let's invis. And we're not gonna worry too much about keeping it up there, but we'll just use it as a way to get around a little easier. So I'm just gonna take us back to the same place. We're gonna go this way and go around to where we were going down before, and we're gonna kind of continue the tour from there. It's both a tour and, let's see, sharp rocks fall from a sharp rock falls from the low ceiling, banging you on the head. Why are you here again? Damn it, rocks. That's funny. That's some fun little flavor text there. All right, we're back here. Back where we met our untimely demise. And this is... So this would just be a high traffic area, but it's even more ridiculous in difficulty 4. Just look at these things moving around on the map. It's freaking insane. Are they fighting me? Or are they just buffing? I'm still invis. Man, it's buffing up, and this is madness. Alright, so we've got some... We didn't really explore this level because we like dove in and swam down, but it looks like they're like maybe mining crystals down here. A lot of crystals going on. There's probably a whole story behind this place. I don't know it. I can't fill you in, but maybe worth checking out some. Oh, this is cool. Got like a blood crystal or something on this side, and then like some purple, and okay, we got blood. I don't know if it's like poison or whatever, purple or whatever green is, and then purple, green, and red. This is a cool room. This is a super cool room. I wonder if anything spawns in here. I'm just gonna look at the P99 real quick and see. It says Blood Room. An evil eye spawns here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So there's potentially an evil eye in this room. I don't see anything right now. Yeah, look at these Sprawly defenders are, you got casting Spirit of Wolf, Shield of Thistles, all this buffs on each other. So everything I fight is going to be just buffed to the gills. Just super buffed. Alright, so continuing around. That was a freaking cool room, though. Here is the Evil Eye Day Spa. Oh, and they see Invis. Of course they do. Why would I think otherwise? Alright. Let's actually get slows on these guys and do all the stuff. Well, right now they were stunning me at the beginning, but... What the heck, man? These guys are just rocking me. Switch to defensive. I guess this is a whiz beast and he is my level. Okay, so these aren't lower level either. These are D4, difficulty 4, appropriate level for me, and a 30. Okay. I don't feel quite as bad now. I was like, man, they're just rocking me and they're stunning me out of every spell I try to cast. But we got this. If needed, I can also put my Shaman heal on that first spot. And I can use Spellblade to proc heals. We got Quartz, Crystal, Hit Points, and Endurance. It's primary, secondary. I don't know, we'll loot it. Oops. Guessing something he already has on him, but that's fine. Hey, we got an AA point out of that. Polished Bone Hoop. So it's mana plus mana preservation. I actually think we don't have any earrings. We don't even have any earrings. That's awesome. Totally got an upgrade. So if nothing else, we could camp this room. So Polished Bone Hoop plus 4. We get a couple of those and just camp this area, right? I mean... All right, let me get back into Invis to keep exploring. So that's super cool. So that's a room we could potentially camp in that room. So that is near. Okay, that's where you can come down if you're shrunk anyway. You can come down from that other side, the other way down. Brings you right into this room, which is be real nice if you're looking for those drops. So. Let me see what else. What else do they drop? I'll look it up real quick, and if it matches, at least we know. Evil Eye Prisoner drops the Onyx Ring, which is a hit point ring. Polished Bone Bracelet, which is Wisdom and Intelligence. Polished Bone Hoop, which is a mana earring. In Evil Eye Lens. So that's what they dropped in P99, but we saw the Polished Bone Hoop. Here also has mana preservation on it. So mana preservation and plus mana. Very cool. Alright, this looks like it goes up. Okay, up to kind of the same level though. Just a slightly higher spot. We're in like a low spot of this level. So many guys running so fast. So we can go check out what's going on back here. Where there says bridge on the map there. I'm going to guess that's in that waterfall room. Oh. A slime elemental. That's cool. You are not quite sure what a mold master is, but you are sure that you don't want to meet it alone and in the dark. Actually, I specifically do want to fight the mold master, so if you could spawn him for me, that'd be cool. Is that guy moving? The slime elemental? We could actually get experience from that guy, but I don't want to start a fight at the crossroads again and fight 100 goblins. So we're gonna skip it for the moment and just keep looking around. So we've got a nice little fireplace here. Oh, I love it. I love that it's like a 2D graphic of a fireplace. A 2D moving graphic. Dude, they put some effort for the day. They put some effort into the Runnyeye Citadel here. Like the goblins are... They really got some attention. Alright, we've got just a path down to the lower part of this level again. Yeah, just some hallways. Looks like they're mining the crystals. There's some kind of cool magic crystal room back there that we saw. Here you've got like sewage tunnels. I don't know what they are, if they're sewage tunnels, but... Yeah, overall, it's like it reminds me of like a set of cool mining caves or something, right? And then like these crystal deposits and stuff. Really neat. Really neat. And you've got the purple ones, but then you also got the green ones, and I don't know about the blood ones or not, but I imagine there's rooms with the blood crystals in them too, or just that one. Maybe just that one room has the blood crystals. You got some cool looking chairs. If I was full size, these would be great chairs. Yeah, this is pretty neat. Oh, there's one of those blood crystals. Okay, and then we get to another ramp going down. So I'm looking real quick, and it says those slime elemental drops a ring of slime, an orb of slime, or a beaded slime necklace. So that thing does have drops. That is a named mob. We're going to skip him. His common drop is the Ring of Slime, which is just 10 mana, and I believe the 2 rings we have are already better than that, so we'll just stick with that. Alright, let's head down here and check this out. I am going to keep the invis up for now, unless it fades when I'm not looking. We'll make our way around the Sporali level. So we did see... Ooh. Okay, that kind of floor right there is slippery. We did see before, like the mold master can spawn in a couple of places on this level. Which, actually, one of them was right where we came down. So, I don't know about the spawn points. Like, that's all been, or all will be adjusted on this server. They are planning to make more passes, much like they did with Befallen, through all of the dungeons. Okay, so there's no mold master right here. And with those passes, they'll probably revamp some of the bosses, some of the drops, or at least the power of the drops. Probably they could redo pathing, they could redo all those things. So, oh, there he is, the Mold Master. So everything we see right now is subject to change, and referencing other servers, Project Quarm or P99 or anything. It's all subject to change. Alright, the Mold Master is a Cleric Druid, so he's a healer. We're going to run out there and we're going to fight that guy. There are a lot of defenders coming by, and I fear that they're going to just gang up on us. But hey, YOLO, right? There's only one way to find out. He is very tall. Even if I wasn't shrunk, he would be big. So the aggro radius in D4 is pretty broad, so I feel like this is going to get crazy. It is one of the things that they tuned down a little bit, so maybe we'll get lucky. And I think I'm also just going to need to stack dots on this guy. And I even have the one that reduces his healing, so let's do that. I should see if I have cancel magic or something to help knock off, like he's got a ton of buffs on him. Oh, I'm in defensive mode too. Let me go Berserker. It's not bad sometimes to start in defensive mode if you want to get like some debuffs stacked and stuff. It's a good plan. See, he's getting healing off, but I've got the canceling life, which is at least reducing it by 20%. And we are staying ahead. We are getting ahead of it. And harm touch, we're slowly getting there. We can get our skill with Reeve is still low, so we're not getting very many successes. But they would normally be knocking a minute off of harm touch at a time, so. Got him. Oh, it looks like we got the gloves. Let me finish this fight with this guy. A rogue wizard. Sounds fun. I am rooted. I'm not going anywhere. I think I'm getting hit by more than one thing. I'm going to go defensive again. I can't tell what's hitting. Oh, are there little sporelings? Oh, how cool. Alright. I'm gonna heal myself up. While I finish this guy off, and then I've got to kill all these sporelings. Let's look at this though real quick. So Sporally Gloves plus 4, so 13% haste, AC 6. Hell yeah, guys, that's what we came for. Well, it's not the only thing we came for. We came to kill the king. But Sporally Gloves, that is a great loot from here that we were looking for. Alright, gotta do some work to knock this guy down. Those little sporelings are just beating me up on... They're probably all dual class. Something crazy. Oh, what just happened? Why'd they all disappear? They are all down there and I can't hit them. I was rooted, can't hit them. I was going to try to just harm touch that last guy. But I was rooted, couldn't hit anything, couldn't see anything because they like fell off behind me or something. So one thing to note though, learned something there, like the Mold Master spawns little sporelings when he goes down. Or he either spawns them during the fight, or he spawned them when he died, one of the two. Yeah, let me get, I'll get set up again, I'll get back down there, and we'll pick it up from there. We did pick up the gloves, so we didn't lose them. So Sprawly Gloves plus 4. If I had died and not finished looting, the loot window may have closed, and I may have had to come back and re-loot him, actually click his body, so. Alright, so Sprawly Gloves. I think we're wearing pristine studded leather gloves, which are Wisdom 10, Dexterity 10, AC, and Mana. And these are much worse, except for that haste. And I think what we're going to do... So, one thing I did learn is I'm actually not bashing with the shield in the any slot. That doesn't currently work unless it was in today's patch, which I haven't looked at yet. What I had seen happen is I put this here and I'm able to use bash. I set it on auto fire and I can see it firing. But what's actually happened is it's just defaulting to slam. I'm slamming because I'm a barbarian. So as of the last information I have, you can't actually bash with a shield in the any slot, but I believe it is intended. It's going to be much like the dagger. Up until recently, you couldn't backstab with a dagger from your any slot, but you can now. So I don't know that it's intended. I'm not the game designer. I'm not designing the game. I don't know what they intend. But I would guess that since they put the ability to backstab from the any slot, they would also put the ability to bash. So I am going to lose the 9 AC from the shield, but that's really all I'm gaining. Honestly, I probably should have had something else in there to begin with. But I'll throw the Sporally Gloves in. We'll get a little bit of haste. So they're 13% haste, so you can see here our attack speed's now 113. So the cap currently is 175, so we'll be wanting to work towards that. Now with our self buffs, we'll get a little bit closer. It'll be actually one of our goals is going to be to cap out at 175. All right, here we are back at the room where we fought the Mold Master. Those little sporelings look like they have moved on, so they're not around. But we'll just kind of continue on looking around in here. With the Mold Master being able to kind of spawn in multiple spots, it might be, if I want to hunt him down anyway for some upgrades, we'll have to chase him around a little bit. So here we're back in this chamber. We know we can swim to other places from here. We'll just continue moving. I did see several ways to move downward. It looks like that just circles back around. Okay, so we've seen most of it here. It's kind of a big, like, triple circle thing. The only spawn that I see as far as something that would drop loot... Yeah, the only spawn I see as something that would drop loot is the Mold Master itself. So we have already encountered that guy right here. It's probably where I would... it seems like this would be his spawn point, but you know, just judging on the map, which isn't necessarily updated. I'm using Brule's maps. So let's go to default. So there is no default map for this one yet. They haven't made the map, so I'm using Brule's map. So it's going to be, you know, it's not made for Everquest Legends, so it's not going to necessarily be 100% accurate. So those multiple spawn points could be true. That could be something from another server. Could be something from original, actual live Everquest. I'm not sure. Ooh, this whole room is slick. It just wants you to fall in the water. That's kind of fun. So it looks like if we go out here, this just comes back around to that room. Yeah, that's where that ladder goes. And then we have a couple of ways down into level 3. It looks like 2 different ways down. We'll go this way. And this is into the area where the king is. So where does the other one come down then? It's like directly across the hallway. Oh, interesting. Okay. Battle Wizard Unak. Alright, looks like Battle Wizard Unak here can drop the medallion and some other things. He's a war beast, so he's going to be stunning and nuking us. I'm going to fight him in the corner. We just saw a guy ran in here and ran out, so that guy will be back in 5 seconds because they're all so fast, and we'll definitely have to fight that other guy too. Let's see if we can win one of these without having to go back to the entryway, but we'll see. So I know in, well, I apologize for the all the lights going off here, but this guy is casting everything on me. So I know in Wreck-It Rogue's videos, he's doing like all D4 leveling, and he's probably very used to the shenanigans that happen in there. I'm just going to hit harm touch, why not? And fights better. I'm always surprised when something is like, how is this thing murdering me when it's on D4? I guess I shouldn't be. Oh, I'm still finding a defensive stance. Well, it's serving me well. I'm still alive, so. But generally, with a wizard, you want to kill as fast as you can. Alright, no drops from him, just some plat. But he did have the chance to drop the blackened alloy medallion, or black alloy medallion, which I think is something we're going to want to pick up. Maybe when I see it, I'll be like, oh, never mind. But for neck right now, we're looking at the studded leather collar from Blackborough, so we're due for some kind of upgrade. I'm going to kick back on invisibility just so we can keep moving around kind of freely. I do have I have the effects cranked all the way up. So just so you're aware, like I have the spell effects, you know, density is high on for all spells and not very, very high, 100% opacity and everything. I cranked everything up to high. And as you come down here into a dungeon where you're kind of up against a wall or whatever, it may be something to think about to reduce those. I don't mind it so much, but I imagine, some of what's coming through on the video is just blinding. And if that's the case, let me know in the comments. I'm open to, definitely open to reducing those a little bit. I can think it makes the magic just look like, big and impactful, but if you can't even look at the screen, then, like I said, somebody called it, so there's a lot of welding going on. You can't look at you need a welding mask to even look at it. A pile of mold erupts in a cloud of spores. Ooh. Oh. Oh, when I ran by, it spawned a sporling. Who is a warrior cleric. Okay, that guy can just stay there. I'm not doing anything with that guy. So in here, it looks like the map says Lord Pickclaw could be in here. We're not seeing that. Or he's not spawned. Which is fine. Again, the map doesn't necessarily even reflect what's on this server. Or what's on this, what's in EverQuest Legends. A Pickclaw Foe Seeker is blue. Not a lot of blue things, so that's kind of cool. That guy's just gone. Like, completely gone. Oh, there he is. Man, if I did have to fight, like, the name spawn in here, there's so much traffic coming through here. This would be so dangerous. I think fighting in this room would be the best one. They kind of come in and stop from both sides. But they, like, don't stay, you know? Oh, that guy passes through. So yeah, this area we've got Lord Pickclaw. Okay, so Lord Pickclaw, from what I'm checking out here, can actually spawn in several locations. So we have him here in the room we're in. We have him up there. At least those two locations, I suppose. Down here is that Battle Lord in another potential spot. It says here for the Mold Master. Very interested in what is this? Just like a. Let's go check out what this is. Maybe I've already seen it, but it looks kind of cool on the map. Let's go see what's that all about. And eventually, we're going to want to camp in here, though. We're going to want to fight a couple of these guys. We'll probably use invisibility to kind of get around between the spawns. Because one of the guys we're going to want to fight is Battle Lord Paluk, who's down here somewhere. Well, how do you get to? Oh, there it is. So this would be his room, according to the map. And I think that matches. I think that's where we ran into him. And then it says like this. It says here you could get the Spirali guy here, but I don't see that. Oh, look at these. What's going on back here? It's like the Leopard Lodge. Right on. You know, to each their own. I don't judge. Alright, so I think I want to kill this guy. And try to get Battle Lord Paluk to spawn. And I think what I'm going to do is just make the rounds clearing some of these rooms. And we'll see what we see. And it might be something I make a montage out of. It might be montage worthy. I'd really like to run into the Goblin King before I call this episode at some point. Because I want to be the King Slayer. Be the Doomreaver, the Black Wolf, the Reaper, and the King Slayer. That's the goal. Alright, we might have come through here before, but I had said I wanted to see what that kind of star-looking thing was on the map, and it is a multi-directional fountain. It literally looks like something I may have built in Minecraft in the past. Alright, back to fighting.
Doomreaver! Its halls were never quite the same. Skeleton kings and crypt-born dread now sleep among the countless dead. Yet still the Black Wolf march beyond. Another battle yet unwon. Through mist and rain and dark east road, following whispers down the road. They spoke of halls beneath the hill and of a king he'd need to kill. In the Citadel of Runnyeye, a crooked crown sat raised on high. A goblin king with endless pride, unaware that doom arrived. Kingslayer, the crown will break tonight. Kingslayer, the crown meets steel tonight. Dark and steel and ice cold night. No king survives when Black Wolf rides. Kingslayer, Runnyeye will know his name. Citadel doors stood cold and grim, no mercy found for those within. Crooked tunnels, bloody slain, every shadow spoke his name. Goblin troopers formed their lines, rust and iron spears and knives. One by one their ranks were torn by the Doomreaver battle war. Through winding halls and broken stone, the Doomreaver carved a path alone. Every challenge, every gate, only brought the king to his fate. Goblin king, heart of hate, goblin pride, sealed his fate. Still collide, sparks to fly. The mountain trembled through the night. Kingslayer, the crown lies in the dust. Kingslayer, the throne has turned to rust. Darkened blade and shattered pride. The goblin king was cast aside. Kingslayer, every goblin knows his name. Black Wolf King, and nothing stayed the same. Black Wolf, Kingslayer, Doomreaver,
All right, guys, we have killed a lot of goblins. In fact, I was in there for a total of about 6 or 7 hours, killing all the goblins on the 4th floor. I got really good at making my way through Runnyeye Citadel. I was switching between various difficulty settings, trying to get the named spawns to happen, really looking for the Goblin King to spawn. So after my 6 or 7 hours, I've actually made it even on greens and some of the light blues originally, but mostly greens and grays at this point. I made it to level 32. You know, a third of the way through level 32 down there. Got a ton of loot. I haven't actually equipped anything. We've got a ton of loot. We've got some alternate advancement points. So we're going to do some couple of comparisons and things here. But first I have to tell you, I never saw the Goblin King. So after those 6 or 7 hours, I decided to go do some research, digging into some of the lore of Runnyeye Citadel. And what I did not realize is that though there is a Goblin King listed on the spawn list for Runnyeye in various places, other resources outside of Everquest Legends, there's a story of Runnyeye Citadel. So the Runnyeye clan of goblins used to live there, and the Goblin King was their leader. the Pickclaw can came in and liberated it from the Runnyeye clan. Thus, it's actually called the Liberated Citadel of Runnyeye. The Pickclaw clan then took over, and some of their spawns were replaced by Pickclaw spawns, the Battle Lord and stuff like that. One of those was the Goblin King, who was replaced by Lord Pickclaw, who I probably killed 20 times in all of that camping. So it appears that our version of the Liberated Citadel of Runnyeye is the Pickclaw version that does not have a Goblin King spawn. It's one of those things that, had I gone looking for it before I went in there and kind of experienced it, I might have sorted it out. But it's a nice learning experience. Having said that, did make a few levels and got a ton of loot that we'll go through here real quick. So that means we've technically killed the Goblin King, Lord Pickclaw. So we are technically a King Slayer. Even if we didn't kill something with King in the actual name. So I'm going to take it. I didn't realize that going into it. And we're gonna call it victory. We're going to call it victory. We're going to call it full victory. We have conquered the goblins. We have conquered Runnyeye Citadel, and we have slain their king. So let's look at what we got, though. While I'm hanging out in this spot, I'll talk about that more in a couple minutes. Let's look what we got. I want to actually start with alternate advancement, so let me close all these other windows. So we're up to 18 AA points, and all that running through Runnyeye Citadel, I've gathered up 18 AA points, and we looked earlier and we were a little bit short of getting that last Steadfast Will, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that now, and we'll be at 100% chance to endure what would otherwise be a stunning melee attack from any angle. So good stuff there. That leaves us with 6 points. And I haven't really settled still on what to do with those 6 points. I talked about it a little bit at the beginning. I do like finishing blow, and I'm tempted just to go for it. And just even get it going. Even if I don't get all of them, I'm actually just going to do it. I really like finishing blow, and it'll work across all of my builds. Second step is 4. We'll just hit it. Okay, so now we have 100% chance. Your critical melee attacks have a 100% chance to deal 200% damage to level 53 and lower NPCs with 12% or less health. Excellent. I'll have to do that for AAs. Looking at loots. So the one big thing we were looking at was the Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword in comparison to our Ebon Scythe. So if I pull up the Ebon Scythe here, and the Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword, you can see here got the Bastard Sword up to just +5, whereas the Scythe was at +7, and it's a 0.821 ratio. That's a monster ratio. Doesn't have these stats, but like I said, we can get the stats by popping it into one of these, if we want to, into one of these any slots. But I think we're moving to the big two-hander today. We're going to go with the two-handed sword. I do want to keep up with killing everything that comes past me here. So we're gonna flip over to the Black and Iron Bastard Sword, and we're gonna call that our new weapon for now. So we'll hang on to the Scythe. It's been an awesome weapon for many levels now. It's pretty iconic to the build, I think. But the Doomreaver can do just as fine with a Bastard Sword. We're flipping over to that. Right now I have the Spirali Gloves for the haste, and I have the Enchanted Fine Steel Morningstar, which gives me Strength, Wisdom. This would give me Strength, Intelligence, and some mana. Yeah, worth swapping over and putting the Scythe into the any slot. Got a lot of other stuff here, so let's take a look. And make sure I am killing everything that comes by. Our big two-hander now. Big two-handed sword. I don't know what my... Oh, actually, that's probably still slashing. They're both slashing, which is nice. So I don't have to level up a new skill yet. Alright, so we got the sleek black cape up to a +4. If we compare that, we had the ringmail cape before, which is just AC 9. The sleek black cape is AC 10 with no stats either, but just slightly better. So we'll throw that on. I don't imagine we're ever going back to the ringmail cape, so we'll go ahead and destroy that one. We have the blackened alloy waistband as compared to our thaumaturgist's sash. So 5 AC, 4 intelligence, or 13 AC. I'm going to go with the AC on that one. And we won't use that again either. Get rid of it. We've got blackened alloy bracers, which won't beat our pristine studded, but might beat our ringmail. Probably beats our ringmail. The blackened alloy +3 is AC 11. Ringmail +2 is AC 7. Easy win. Higher AC than the pristine studded leather, but we get some stats and hit points out of that. So we're going to keep the pristine studded leather, but we'll swap out for the ringmail. Another one that can go away. Let me close some windows here. Make sure I'm not missing any spawns. Okay. If we look at the helm, we're going from just ringmail with AC 10 to this blackened alloy with 12 AC, 10 strength, and all these saves. So easy upgrade there too. We'll destroy that. And it looks cool. That black chainmail looks pretty cool. Good protection. What was it? Like Minesweeper in the comments. Good. You've traded protection for no neck. Where did his neck go? What else? Blackened alloy medallion. This was one of the things we actually went in there for because we have the studded leather collar. So we actually had a couple of options because we also had the blackened alloy collar that dropped. So if we compare all these, AC 4 strength and stamina +2 doesn't compare to either of these. So we're definitely replacing the studded leather collar. So I can destroy that. And then it's between these two. So AC 12 or AC 11, but this one gives some stats plus an exaltation of mana preservation. I think that's very easy win on which one to go with here. So we will go with the blackened alloy medallion. And then we've got the blackened alloy girdle as a belt. So we already had the blackened alloy waistband. And this one actually comes with 10 stamina. So we're going to double replace our belt here and grab that stamina. So those were the things that I thought we definitely might want to look at as far as swapping out. So there we go, a bunch of gear upgrades out of there, which is awesome. New weapon, awesome. Looking kind of funky now with the difference between the black helmet and the gray sleeves, but we didn't get any sleeves, so that's all right. We also got the blackened alloy longsword, which is up to +4, which is a 0.483. And this one's awesome. The Spirali Defender's Blade ended up just at a +3 because I didn't hunt the Spirali that whole time. I was just hunting the goblins at 0.622. Now, I'm not going to use one-handed with this build, but if we start to look at, we have 0.286 and 0.388 in the pet inventory. If we take those out, we could actually drop these into the pet inventory and make them even stronger. For those times that we ever bring them out. Actually, I should have looked at some of those pieces I threw away to see if he'd want them. And we can put him in some blackened alloy mail, leg plates, and maybe arm plates. Just a place to use them. I forgot to actually turn on auto attack to that guy. Alright, so we're all caught up then on gear, and look how much money I made. I mean, insane. insane in there for those hours, just making a ton of money. I've been running myself out of money buying spells. That's just crazy talk right there. The nice thing is coins don't have any weight on EverQuest Legends, so you can't get stuck or whatever from coin weight. Yeah, so we're all caught up on all that. What am I doing here? Well, I really still wanted to kill a king. I'm kind of camping in near one of the spawn points for King Zorb, in the Gorge of King Zorb. So based on data, again, from other servers, which just got me in trouble with the Goblin King, this is one of the places, or near here, one of the spots that King Zorb can spawn, so I'm just killing everything that wanders through here. Everything seems to roam here in the zone, so I'm killing. I also did go into here where the map kind of says King Zorb, and I killed the Evil Eyes there, but from what I understand, that's not typically an actual spawn point for King Zorb. But I can go check it out again. But my plan was, while I talked, I would just kill everything that came by here, and on the off chance that we get a King Zorb spawn, I'd go ahead and take him out. And we could still say we killed a king. I'm going to give it a little while here. I'm going to keep at it here in the Gorge of King Zorb. I know I say that funny, but it's such a goofy set of words to say, so it always rolls off interesting. But I'm going to do some running around. I'm going to keep my eye out, and we'll see. If not, we're calling ourselves the Kingslayer for the death of Lord Pickclaw, who, technically, is a Goblin King, as he displaced the prior Goblin King. Alright, so with all that said, all caught up on the loots, the gear upgrades, the levels, alternate advancement, just the overall increasing power of the Doomreaver, our escapades in the Citadel of Runnyeye, our decimation of the Pickclaw clan, and our killing of their king, Lord Pickclaw. With that, I'm going to sign off for this episode. Hey everyone, Sigil here. Hopefully you're enjoying the ongoing adventures of the Doomreaver, now also the Kingslayer. If you'd like to see more, make sure you go ahead and hit those YouTube buttons and you'll be alerted when the next one comes out, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.